This is exactly why we are where we are today. People not taking it seriously enough, not thinking that this kind of thing was possible here.
But I will say that this was a breaking point for me and the way that the administration responded to it. Like, I didn't think what's happening right now with ICE could happen in America. I genuinely did not think that was possible. I thought our institution, I thought the Constitution would hold up. When I see it and then immediately defend it, I start to go, we gotta be very loud about this. Like it all of a sudden becomes not like liberal catastrophic thinking. It starts to become very reasonable, nuanced criticism of the administration. They have just made the most far left critiques of the Trump administration. Their reaction to this has just justified all of them.
And it's primarily white and Latino males, the same group that gave us Trump this time around. Let me talk a little bit about the origins of this, and then we'll talk about why it's still here and, of course, what we do about it. Now, women are right, as they usually are. Men are the problem and have been since the beginning of human civilization. But at the same time, men haven't always been this specific way, not even in this country. The first thing I want to do is go way back to the origins of Stoicism, and that is the idea that you can only control what you can control. Obviously, there's a lot of wisdom in that. On top of that, with our out-of-control capitalism, Americans are just spread too thin, and their capacity to care about others has dwindled over time. Everyone's got problems, so just deal with it. That brings us to the late 1800s and the Industrial Revolution. Managers needed workers that were more like machines. In fact, schools at the time taught boys to suppress their emotions so that they could better deal with life. And without that outlet at work, they often took their frustration out on their family and still do. Now we move to the men that directly gave us Donald Trump, and that's younger boomers and Gen Xers. These men were products of the tough love movement that lasted from the late 60s to the early 90s. The idea that the best way to help someone was to let them hit rock bottom. Verbal abuse and shaming were legitimized as motivational methods. Empathy was considered enabling or whining. When I was still a Republican, I did some charity work for those experiencing homelessness, and I was told constantly by people from that generation that I was enabling people. And so it's no surprise that this generation of men voted for somebody that's constantly talking about winners and losers. It's out of control bro culture. That's what the 1980s gave us. With the Epstein file drop, we're discovering some of the most heinous acts even imaginable. And it's a ton of powerful people around the world steering world events. And yet when I say that by the end of the year, the military will be on our streets, this generation, the generation that generally runs Congress, still says that I'm being alarmist. And so apparently I've been an alarmist for a decade now. Some of these people, like Andrew Shulz, are starting to see some of this, but they're still not really believing. And the person of Donald Trump has also played right into this. People have really got to stop thinking he's so dumb. Look at how much he's accomplished. He knows that his persona is a caricature and a little bit goofy. That's part of it. He presents it along with his fake strength. And so when he tells these guys that, oh, that's not going to happen, they believe him. But he really doesn't even have to do that. He just tells us what's going to happen, and these men just laugh it off. Some men are waking up, especially Latino men. I've talked to quite a few lately that are regretful about their vote. But will they now just cower in shame? Probably, because that's also part of the mindset. If this hits home for you, then wake up.